You're about to watch an interview with director of She Will, Charlotte Colbert, and stars Alice Krige and Malcolm McDowell. So I got to watch this last night, and I'm very excited about it. I love it, but I'm coming back tonight to watch it on the big screen.
Amazing.
Because it's too damn gorgeous to just watch it on my laptop at home and not fully enjoy it in the full theatrical experience. So what was your inspiration for this?
Yeah, but basically, yeah, so nice to meet you, and I'm so glad that you're coming to see it in the big screen because it's so different, like with the sound and everything. Yeah, I guess Kitty had a script that explored, that had lots of sort of themes in it that I was really interested in within my practice as an artist and within sort of my life as well. Like about the unconscious and dreams and trauma and how we all carry the muscle memory of all the people who came before us and everyone who comes after us, and the history of persecuted women. And so we basically then developed the script and brought in all the influence of nature and the kind of solace that one finds in nature. And yeah, and it sort of became this crazy beast of a thing. And then everyone brought in, you know, their own sort of influences and histories and stuff to the project. And Alice obviously brought in all her amazing magic.
So how did it come about that you got Malcolm McDowell and Alice Krige to be on this project?
A huge amount of luck and amazing faith from these guys.
It's amazing script, you know. So
yeah,
the script was so interesting that it just needed exploring further, as far as I was concerned. I mean, Alice had already been cast, obviously, and they were desperately looking for someone to play this part. And I guess the first one had dropped out, Eddie.
No.
Who knows? Okay. I don't know. The way these things go.
I somehow doubt that. That's how it went
I never
down.
mind that at all, because you know,
Malcolm's being modest because he's tired from the flight.
no.
But in reality, he knows that he was greatly wanted.
Yeah. Long flights also make me quite modest as well, so I understand.
Not really. It just kicks the crap out of you. That's for sure. Yeah.
And Alice, I guess.
Yeah. What appealed to you about the script? Like, what about this were you like, yes, I need to do this project?
Just how complex it is, how much it addresses. I mean, how many scripts do you know that cover so much ground, so many layers? You know, that has a slug in the center of the screen at a certain moment. A little fox runs. It was quite unique, quite different. And I was, you know, Veronica's journey, Cota's journey. It was an extraordinary script. And I met Charlotte, who was equally extraordinary and remains so. So I was amazed that they were interested in me playing the role.
No, it was amazing. And also what's quite interesting with this, I found, is like during the process, the people who have congregated to the, you know, because you put something out and then people sort of come to it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, like the people who responded, because I feel there's a kind of something similar in terms of the desire to explore or question just the boundaries of reality, like where, you know, whether it be like the cinematographer or the production designer or Alice or Malcolm or Clint, you know, all have this kind of desire to sort of, I don't know, sort of like wanderers and poets and sort of exploring just the boundaries of that porousness of reality. And so that's been quite nice, I feel, this like, you know.
That makes a lot of sense, because I feel like at the core of this it's very much like it's a philosophy within this story. So I feel like it makes sense that it would draw people who are drawn to that, to tell that specific story. And it kind of starts out from this a perspective of loss, as healing in all these different kinds of ways, like a multitude of ways of healing on this journey. But it starts out from a perspective of loss and very much looking at it that way. and then she gains so much and then steps into her own power at the end, which is what I loved so much about, like, that at the core of it super spoke to me, and I thought that was really interesting.
Yes, just the also the recognition of us within the cosmos, that sense of, you know, the Taoists talk about heaven, earth, and man in between, without whacking you in the face with it. You really created a sense of us within.
We created that, not my own.
You know, within something unknowable and mysterious and utterly powerful that we're part of, but don't begin to really
understand.
comprehend. I've never actually seen that addressed in a movie.
And Kota's very magical and mystical character, and she
Yeah.
carries within her all those kind of, you know, questionings and philosophy and depth, and she's, you know, she's quite esoteric as well, and so yeah, she brought, and then during some of the night shoots, Alice was like doing all these amazing sort of is it like Tai Chi?
It's
in the forest to like conjure the magic. So I feel she's sprinkled a dust of supernatural power in the film.
Where did those movements come from? Like, were you like directing that? Or you're like, I just.
To conjure basically in preparation for the takes, to get like sort of energy.
Yeah.
It's just
Alice was doing these.
a martial art called Bagua.
Yeah.
And I
Bagua,
don't practice it.
Okay.
I never got around to really properly learning it. But it's interestingly a martial art that was taught to nuns,
Oh wow!
female
I didn't know that.
monks in
Nuns?
in Chinese,
Jesus.
Buddhist nuns.
That sounds like an interesting idea for a movie.
Right. Yes, exactly. Bagua nuns.
And it's all
These flying nuns going through the forest.
Sounds amazing.
I love it. It's at least a video, right?
That would be so cool. Music video.
That'd be
That'd
brilliant.
be so good.
No, I want a feature of that. I want to see
Yes.
that on the big screen
Oh
next year
my
at Fantastic
God,
Fest.
yes,
We'll all be
exactly.
together against
We'll
the-
start
occurred to me,
working.
well, what it does is it works on a circle, right? And the idea is that because they're maybe not as physically big or strong as men, you use the fulcrum, the tipping point, so you get the absolute edge, and it works like a fulcrum, and it generates an enormous amount of power. But interestingly, so what it is, it's the circle.
Oh, that's amazing.
You walk the circle, and I suppose a circle is a very powerful mandala, really.
Totally.
So,
And
yeah.
it's also it's funny because the structure of the film is quite
It's-
circular,
yes,
isn't it?
yeah. Yeah.
Like you could start at the end, really, the film. Or
Right.
you could start it at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
You could revisit it all from Malcolm's character's mind. Or you
Yes.
could revisit it from
Be a very
Alice's
different
character.
film.
Well,
But I
So
would be
fun.
fascinated to see that one as well. Yes. That is
So-
That would be, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be interesting.
So we've got that one. We've got the flying nuns.
Yeah.
We got a whole ton of.
No.
You're producing all of them.
Yes.
We're
I
sorted.
I think you have the whole thing in one
good.
movie.
Oh my God, that'd be
Yeah.
I'm
brilliant.
here for it, guys. I'm absolutely here for it.
Oh my God, amazing.
I love, I mean, Malcolm was amazing as this awful character, but I love that we got to see this actual old footage from interviews. That was amazing to be able to cut that in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do we get
Some
that?
of them. Some.
Oh,
some
Lucky Man? Was it?
No, there's some like they're all like interviews. Do you remember? And we couldn't find where they were from, and they were like
Oh,
some were from like
put 'em
the
in.
Malcolm was like put them in, and then
Yeah,
and they're so amazing. And some we had to take away obviously the sound for it to fit, but some of the
Yeah.
sound bites are hilarious that he
Yes.
says from that time.
Really?
One you
Oh,
got really. Yeah.
Don't embarrass me.
Okay, I won't say.
Now I want to see the raw.
Oh my
uncut,
God! Yeah,
interview.
you have to see it. You have to see it.
Actually, I was pretty articulate as a young man. I was quite surprised when, because you know, you can find anything on YouTube. My kids go, "Did you say this?" And I go, "What? What the hell? Where'd you find that?" And of course, it's on YouTube. Everything is on YouTube.
Everything's on
Everything's
YouTube.
And I go, "Good God! Yes, that was 1971." And my God, I totally agree with that.
That's hilarious.
And I still agree with it, and God almighty, who told me that then?
That's great.
That's so much more, like, that's lovely, because you could have looked back at that and be like, no, what are you saying? Stop, no, rather than being like,
I
that
didn't
is a
feel that
charming,
one.
put-together
It was
young
one
man.
particular thing. But
So good.
it's interesting, you know. I mean, I had a different brief, obviously, to Alice here, and she had a long journey to go down, and you know, I mean, and I could imagine what she did with it, you know. But as far as I was concerned, you know, really, you know, to play a heavyweight film director, well, you know, how do you do that? You don't sit there directing. It's basically a man of, you know, huge ego and confidence. And really, that's it. And, you know, I've done so many of these types, you know, like Rupert Murdochs, I call them, without the Australian accent. But, yeah, it's a sort of, what were you going to say?
No, I was just saying because it is interesting because you bring to it like more, I think, more layers than that, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
also
Yeah. No, yeah.
so which is really nice, you know, and it's interesting because it feels sometimes like you're nearly in your mind or in a sort of monologue, and the way you sort of played that is really interesting.
Well, I can't remember now how I played it, but didn't I, if I was looking at it now, what I would say is, but it's also his mortality, which has got to come in there too.
Yes,
So
that's
there's,
interesting.
But it
That
does.
is- it does,
That's,
did I play it like that?
Yeah, there's a moment in the
That's the way I
bar.
would have done it. And,
Yeah.
You're hired.
it's funny though, because I mean, I don't know whether Alice feels the same way, but I never see the stuff I do because there's no time to look back. There's only time to look forward.
Okay.
It's like when they went, what's your favorite character? And I always say, the next one.
That's a good
That's a good
answer.
answer.
That's a
Well,
great
it is
answer.
true.
Yeah.
It is true.
Well, now
That's
I'm not
why
gonna
it's
ask
a
you
good
that
answer.
question. I'm just kidding. It's not on my list to begin with. All right. I do have one last question for you guys. Executive produced by Dario Argento. How did that come?
Oh my God! Yeah, so basically we went to this film festival called Locarno Film Festival, and the film won best
first time
I have a picture of it.
Yeah.
Best first time director?
Yeah.
And basically, but what was really cool is it's a really sweet festival, and the creative director is amazing. It's called Jonna, and it's got that feeling that I imagine festivals would have been like also in the 60s and stuff, where everyone sort of meets, and it's very, you know, people are very mixed together and brought together and stuff. Anyway, so Dario was receiving a Lifetime Award, and he saw the film around that time and basically came on board to support. So yeah, we'll have some
Wow.
a little clip.
A little surprise,
later.
I've heard, yes.
Yes,
That
which
is
would be
amazing.
really fun. And it was so nuts because, you know, it's so crazy because in my mind, like, he's sort of, you know, he was sort of abstract before I met him, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yes.
he was sort of like a concept.
An
Like, so it was
entity.
an entity,
Yeah.
you know, that was sort of, whose visuals and sounds and stuff are sort of ingrained in my ears and my eyeballs, but I hadn't really conceived of him as an individual.
Right. As a human walking
As
around
I
the
know, and it
theater,
was
yeah.
so nuts, so basically. So it was a bit surreal, but very welcome news, and we're super excited.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations. I'm very excited. You were all entities to me as well before this moment, so I'm kind of trying to piece these things together in my head. So this was wonderful. Thank you guys so much, and I'm excited to watch you all on the big screen tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. And I've been Alex many times for Halloween, so now I'll need to be a Borg Queen this Halloween.
Yes!